It was good, peeps. Good afternoon, good day, good morning. Emphasis on the evening. So yeah, I am starting my vlog. I'm really starting my vlog for like the fifth time. I've had the worst day ever. Like, it's completely horrible, rough. It was a fucking fight. But let me go get this food and then I'll tell you about it. So again, what's good, peeps? So let me tell you why I had to start my vlog over for the fifth time, or should I say, like that's been popular in the news lately, hit the reset button. And I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, I had to hit the reset button like 5 times today because like the day just started off horrible. Like I woke up fine, on time, whatever, got ready for work, no problem. I go to get in the car, and you've seen the neighborhood plenty of times. Like you see, like you've heard me complain that the neighborhood has horrible street parking. And Sundays are the worst days, for parking. So I go to get in the car, and I'm walking to the car, I'm walking up the street to the car, and I see this red minivan. Driving down the block towards me really slow. So I'm like, okay, this guy's looking for parking. I said he can have my spot when I pull out. So, I go to my car, pull out my side mirror, check the car, make sure, there's no damage or nothing like that. I go to get in the car. So then I notice that he's sitting there waiting for me, which I kind of figured he would do. But he's like right at the tail of my car. So I'm like, bruh, I'm saying, can you back up? Because I can't see around your van. Like, you're blocking my line of sight. So he backs up a little bit. So I get out again, like, yo, Bryce, you got to back up some more. I really can't see. Like, really, what he needed to do was back up to like the second car behind me, so I can see all the way around him. Because his van is much bigger than my car. So he didn't do that. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna keep babying this person so I can pull out the spot so he can take the spot that I'm already in. So I inch out slowly. And I'm trying to see around him, like I'm looking, to the left, I'm looking over to the right. Like I'm trying to make sure there's no cars coming. And there were no cars coming. So the second I start inching out further to actually go, some car comes flying around him and comes like this close. This teeny tiny close to hitting me. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, and where he would have hit me at, it would have been like on the passenger side, but like more towards the wheel well. So basically he would have like pretty much destroyed my car. Cause like when he stopped, like all you hear was screech, like the legendary screeches. So I was like, oh my god, like that shook me, and then also kind of pissed me off because like had this guy backed up, I would not have been in this almost situation. So that was the first thing. So then I get to work, and again, no traffic. I'm getting in my mojo or whatever, and I get to work, and of course there are freaking call outs. Not as many as it was 2 weeks ago, but there were call outs. So I'm like, okay, well at least it's just me. At least it's me and one other person. And so I'm like, all right, look, I'm not here by myself again. So I wasn't that pissed. I was like, okay. But my coworker instantly started complaining, like, oh my god, I can't believe they called out, da da da. I'm like, listen, it's no problem. Like, it's me and you, we can do this. I mean, we've done this before. Like, we've done it when we, during recession time, we can do this. So she's complaining. So I was like, you know what? I said, I don't know what. I'm in my head, I was like, I don't know why you're complaining, because you did the same thing. So she says something else. I'm like, listen, I said, stop complaining. Let's just get it done. Let's just move, get it done. Get this, get this counted, get this over with before the store opens. She said, but it's not fair. I said, yeah, it's not fair. I said, it's happened for the last 2 weeks. I said, it happened to me last week when so-and-so called out, and it happened with the week before when you called out. So I said, but, I got myself together, and I just got what I needed to get done and opened the store. Opened the department. So that, that made her shut up. So then, again, we're moving, getting the store open or whatever, getting the department open or whatever, and my first customer of the day, yelling, screaming, oh, you're gonna take this back. I'm like, mind you, this is the first customer, so the doors had just opened, and I had never seen this person before in my life. So I'm like, miss, calm down. Like, what's going on? Like, let's talk and use our words. What's going on? And she's like, I'm trying to return this, and I was here last night, at closing, and they said they couldn't return it because, they were closing. I said, well, yeah. I said, if you came at closing, of course they're not gonna help you. I said, we close before the store closes, so of course we couldn't help you. I said, so talk to me. Let me see what you got. Let me just do this return for you, and get you on your way. So I look at her receipt and everything, and I'm like, oh, there's more to what she was saying then. So in my department, we have a 30-day return policy on jewelry. And we are strict with that. It is 30 days, no questions asked. We don't care if you were out of the country, if someone died, whatever. It is 30 days. 30 days is 30 days, not 31 days, not 31 days, and not 32 days, nothing. It's 30 days. So she brought this thing back in like December, like last Christmas. And of course, she probably wore it like every single day, so it's all damaged and icky looking. So I'm like, well, miss, I said, did you show them this yesterday? She said, yeah, I showed them. I said, well, that's probably why they also refused to take it. I said, you're well over our 30-day return policy. So I said, but don't get too upset. I said, you do have options, and I was like, here are your options. All of them led to her paying more money, basically. So I suggested the cheapest option for her. I was like, listen, do this. I'm gonna sell you this. You're gonna send it out. It's gonna be fixed repairs. It's gonna be brand freaking new. I said, you can go happily ever after. I said, and then if anything happens in the next couple years, you're covered. So she's like, but I don't want to pay anything else. I said, well, miss, I'm so sorry. I said, but the reality of it is, either you can go with this option, or you're just stuck with a damaged piece of jewelry. It is what it is. I said, that's my hands are tied. She said, well, I want to speak to a manager. I'm like, okay, miss. I said, I'm going to let you know. I said, they're probably going to do worse than what I'm doing. They're probably going to just flat out tell you no. I said, so if you want to go with my option, this is your last opportunity. She said, no, I want to speak to the manager because the manager's going to take this back. So I'm like, okay. So I called the manager, and I made sure I called the meanest manager possible. And I told them what's going on. And sure enough, she said, well, miss, she said, basically she said what I said. She said, it's way past our 30-day return policy. We are not obligated to take it back. Then she asked the customer. She said, did you purchase, the service plan? And she's like, no. She said, well, you should have purchased the service plan. She said, it's clear here on the bottom. She said, that you have 30 days to return or exchange it. After that, you're required to buy a service plan. She said, and now you're over the 30 days, so you can't buy the service plan. I was gonna just backdoor it for her and let her buy the service plan, but she didn't want to pay any money, so she left the store really fucking pissed. She came back later on, I guess, after she got out her feelings. She was like, is it possible that I can buy that service plan? I was like, nope, not at all. I said, when you called the manager, and, that tied my hands. I said, I'm sorry that, I couldn't do anything for you. I said, but I gave you your option earlier, and you were insisting on talking to a manager, and I told you, I said, what the manager says is the final word. So yeah, that kind of, that was that. So yeah, that's pretty much why I had that's pretty much why I had to start the vlog over a couple of times. And then nothing, it's little every time I picked up the phone to vlog something, I had to stop because someone had a question, or I had to stop because someone was walking in, someone was just walked in and started talking to me. I'm like, bruh, what happened to knocking on the door or whatever? So I'm like, yeah, I just I couldn't use any of those clips. So yeah, that's it. That's why I had to hit the reset button a couple of times. And let me get into this really, really quick. So I try not to bring politics into my vlog because that's not a place for that. There's no place for that in this vlog. But I just cannot help but notice that Donald Trump has yet again hit the reset button on his campaign. And I'm only talking about this because, one, it's offensive to me, because he's in his latest speech, he did it in, I think, Michigan or something like that. And he did it in front of he did it in a town and in front of a crowd that's majority white. But yet he's talking to the black community. He's like, your youth is 50%, like 58% unemployed. You guys are living in poverty. Boo, I don't live in poverty. Not at all. I live in a small New York City apartment, but I don't live in poverty. So I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, first of all, the people you're talking to are the white people. I say, and all you're doing, you're talking down on us, but making you guys look better. Or you're trying to make it seem like you guys are all looking to, to help us, but essentially you're just, ragging on us. And like, it's like, boo, like, what are you doing? Like, get your fucking life. So like that, kind of offended me. And then if you follow any of the Olympics and the drama behind the Olympics, you know that U.S. Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte and his goons got into some trouble in Rio. I don't know the exact details of what happened, but I know they got in some trouble, and he told a lie, and now it's been like blown up out of proportion. And basically, he's back in the United States, and during the Olympics, he was like this like platinum gray blonde, very like, I'm a young kid, but the dude's 32 years old, which I know for me that's not that much older than me. He's a year older than me, but the way he was acting and carrying himself was like very immature, very irresponsible. And I noticed the second this story started picking up more steam, he gets back here and he dyes his hair back to being like, that brown color that his hair normally is. And he looks very, preppy and very like, I've gone to an Ivy League school. I'm like, oh my God, this dude just literally hit the reset button on his image. Like, cause it's not for nothing. Like when he had that platinum blonde grayish color hair, it looked like he was getting into some trouble. But now he dyed his hair back to, its natural color. It's like, oh, it makes you look a little more innocent. So I think that's kind of messed up. But he hit the reset button. It's crazy because like in the news they're saying, oh, these are just misguided kids, and they were just having, they were just into some mischief. No, these are grown ass fucking men that decided to go vandalize, I think it was a bathroom or something at a gas station in Rio, and then lie about it. They're saying they were robbed at gunpoint. Now, I'm listening to the story. There was stories on the news this morning. This morning, and then tonight. And the newest interview he did, he's saying, he said, I might have embellished my story a little bit. Bitch, you lied. Let's call it what it is. Bitch, you lied. He's like, but he said, technically, you can say I've been robbed. He said, because one, he pulled out a gun on me. I'll give you that credit. Bitch, anybody pull a gun on you, bitch, I'm scared. Like, okay, like, I agree with that. He said, and, two, they took money from me. He said, yeah, I might have had to, you could look at it as extortion or as me paying for the damages, which I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is. He said, but at the end of the day, they pulled a gun on me and they took my money. I said, well, so what I'm saying to myself is, well, boo, not at the end of the day, not for nothing. You went to another country and vandalized property there. I mean, you're being everything they hate about Americans. You're fucking ignorant, you're entitled, you're privileged, and now you're fucking lying. Like, you're being everything they hate about Americans. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. That was just on my mind too, like boo. But thank you for watching. I'm sorry this is so long. Like, I'll try to edit it and make it a little shorter, but if I can't, then thanks for watching. Have a good night, have a good day, and always